grandson chewed on electric cord the other day. Yeah, I had to ground him. Conduct himself properly.
And greetings on this Thursday, the 21st of September, the year 2023, coming to you from the U.S. Field Hockey National Training Center in the heart of Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's another edition of Beach District Field Hockey Action, and it's brought to you today by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. Experience delicious cooked-to-order food and rich and creamy frozen custard churned fresh throughout the day when you stop in at Freddy's. It's located in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Hampton, and Williamsburg. Freddy's, the taste that brings you back, and you'll hear a little more from Freddy's and other sponsors as we move along. It's a matchup between the Princess Anne Cavaliers, who are donning the white uniforms today with the red numerals, and the Kempsville Chiefs, who have a very similar color scheme, but they have the blue jerseys today with the white numerals. Kempsville comes in at 3-1 overall. Their lone blemish we brought you 9 days ago when they fell to Kellum 7-1, and they have since responded with a couple of nice victories, 3-2 over Ocean Lakes and 7-1 over Salem of Virginia Beach. In addition to that 16-0 shutout of Green Run to begin the season, so a chance to get to 4-1 on the season for the Chiefs. And opposite them, it's Princess Anne at 2-1 on this campaign. Their lone blemish coming just the other day against First Colonial, but they have pitched shutouts 8-0 over Lansetown and 3-0 over Cape Henry. And Sidney Reguini has been one of the top goal scorers in the Hampton Roads area in the early going of this season. In fact, Reguini had a big game, a couple of goals in that win over Lansetown, as did Sarah Ellis. And we're underway, and we'll give you the names to watch out for in this matchup as we move it along here in just a moment for both teams, as it's going to be Princess Anne with possession to start here. Very fast action for them as they begin. It's number 14 with the ball, and nearly drawing a penalty corner for them. Sidney Reguini, that's the junior who is such a talent. And Kempsville coming back the other direction. They're looking to quickly counter. Now we have the Chiefs roster in front of us, so we'll give you that. We have a couple of names that we're not sure, we couldn't decipher from the scorebook from Princess Anne, so we'll apologize up front if we butcher those names or get them wrong for you. But let's go in numerical order first for Kempsville. What we have, we'll supply you here. For Kempsville, number 1 is Zoe Hernandez. Number 4, Natalie Constable. 5, Kendall Lovett. 6, Hannah Williams. 7, Brooke Rediger. 8, Kira Simas. 9, Cameron Butler. 10, Grace Homer. 11, Gabby McGinty. 12, Kendra Mahan. 13, Josie Scott. 14, Carly Edwards, as you see Butler hit it up ahead. 16, Aaron Sutton. 17, Morgan Fentner. 18, Maddie Acosta. 19, her sister Alyssa Acosta. Number 20 is Claire Scully. 25, Sarah Joy Sanzone. And the goalkeeper, Olivia Wintrode, with 99. And Amber Jones is the head coach for Kempsville, a Virginia Beach native who's been a part of the field hockey community for a long, long time. Fitness trainer, former Division I collegiate player herself. Played at the Division I level at VCU, in fact. And Princess Anne with the veteran head coach Don Warner will give you his squad in just a moment. Got a lot of good talent on this roster, led by Reguini and Ellis, as we watch across the field. Thought that was Ellis for a second, but it's going to be hit up ahead, and Kempsville's going to grab it with Claire Scully. Good maneuver there from number 20 for the Cavaliers, and that is not on our roster sheet for some reason. 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this first period, trying to get in the shooter circle as they're going to nudge closer here. Good look, and it's going to be smacked out by, I think it was Kelsey Mengo, who hit it towards the fence area and out of play. You see lined up defensively there for the Cavaliers, number 4, Clara Holmes, and number 8, Emerson Eves. Good job there for Butler to maintain possession in a close spot. Cavaliers have possession again. And for them, that is number 9, Marin Baxley, a sophomore. Trying to keep it in the attacking third of Kempsville. That one takes a hop and gets away from the post area. It's going to be retrieved by Claire Holmes, who sends it over to Baxley, but it's just going to be out of her reach as it rolls in the other direction, and a chance for Kempsville to race down with under 11 minutes to go in this first period and give themselves a chance. A couple of last names I'm probably going to butcher here for PA, so I want to quickly apologize up front. We're going off the roster sheets and trying to read them as best we can. So for numbers 2, 17, and 19, as well as 21, I'm probably going to get these wrong, but I'm going to try to give them to you the best I have from what I can view. Reese Klutz, it looks like, for number 2 for PA. Claire Holmes is number 4. 6 is Charlotte Doherty. 7, Sarah Ellis, the senior, one of the standouts for the Cavs. Lady Cavs have number 8, Emerson Eves. Number 9, Marin Baxley, we just referenced. Number 12, Maura Graves. 13, Lydia Sansone, a senior. Sydney Reguini, the junior goal-scoring machine. 16 is a sophomore, Haley Kraft. 17, we believe, is 17, we believe, is Heidi Plank, is what we are thinking it reads. 18, Raylan Peace. 19, Kelsey Mango. 21, Ikems Sarskimmerin. 26, Mackenzie Short, another returnee for them. And the goalkeeper, Bethany Kultus, the senior, with the backup goalkeeper, the sub, being Madison Dennis. And longtime coach Dawn Warner at the helm for PA as we've hit under 9.5 minutes to go. No real definite shot on goal yet. A couple of near misses for PA. And now the Chiefs have it along the far sideline, seeing if they can create an opportunity. Off the hop, looks like it's going to be scooped up by Zoe Hernandez, number 1 there on the far side. Hernandez hits it over to 16, Aaron Sutton. Sutton's had a couple of big games in terms of scoring. In fact, last year in a 3-0 shutout of Tallwood, Butler, Hernandez, and Sutton, all names we've referenced, all had a goal for the Chiefs. Right now, though, for Coach Amber Jones's team, they've come up so far in 4 games with 27 goals, so scoring's not been an issue. And getting a win here over this PA bunch would do wonders for them as they go towards the rest of their district schedule here. Do have some out-of-district matchups with Grassfield, Washington Liberty, Menchville, Kickingham on the docket. So they're going to get a flavor of a lot of different styles and teams as the postseason approaches for them in late October. See Amber Jones on the left side of your screen there as that one hits towards the fence by the Zoop Eatery sign. And since it's right near the Zoop Eatery sign, it gives us an opportunity to tell you about Zoop, where you can stop in and get the perfect boxed lunch, customizable and individually packaged meals for your convenience. When you go to Zoop, you choose from any of the wide variety of soups, fresh salads, made-to-order sandwiches, all served with a hunk of bread and dessert. There's something for the whole crew over at Zoop Eatery. A little over 7 minutes to go. We've got a lot of rain in the forecast the next couple of days here in Hampton Roads, and that's why a lot of athletes and teams trying to get the games in before the weather comes. And nice maneuver there as you see the excellent work from Reguini draw a penalty corner as she sliced by a defender and picks up the first penalty corner of this contest right here at about the 6:45 mark. So PA is going to get the first one here as Reguini did a good job of showing off her expertise, her skills. Cavaliers almost got one there. I think they were going for McKenzie short at first. And that one's going to take a hop away as the penalty corner came up empty on that sequence. PA coming up short just the other day against First Colonial. I believe that tally was 4-1 in favor of the Patriots. But prior to that, 11 goals in 2 games against Lansdowne and Cape Henry. So they do have goal-scoring threats, as that one's going to get away from Ruguini, being defended by the Chiefs' Morgan Fettner, but not before she's able to draw a penalty corner. Second time that she's been able to put them in position here, as we'll watch PA trot out there with, looks like, Reese Klutz, number 2. I'm hoping someone on our YouTube chat will give me the proper spelling and pronunciation of the last name. But that one's going to take a hop and go in for Ruguini off the ricochet. So with 5:06 to go, Sydney Ruguini gets the goal. Makes it PA 1-0. No surprise she's the first one to score a goal. It's kind of like when you see those first touchdown players for football. Who's going to score one first? And you know it's usually one of those top running backs or wide receivers. Well, Ruguini was right there at the top of the list. You would think of players that could be a threat to get on the board as PA strikes first here. 9 days after they beat Lansdowne in their season opener. And they're looking for more here. Sarah Ellis had 2 of those goals, and Ruguini had 1 with an assist in that win over Cape Henry back on the 13th. Those are 2 of the definite weapons for sure. Kempsville trying to get out of its own end here. Double team comes quickly with Ruguini, one of them on Josie Scott. And now it's Brooke Rediger, seeing multiple defenders. As Coach Warner is showing some schematic instructions there, pointing with the pencil. Want to get them aligned in certain spots to do some damage here. Got some subs along the fence there, watching on, urging on their teammates. There's the airborne scoop for Kempsville. It's going to be quickly poked away by Ruguini.
And yet you talk to each other all day long. And this is more important than in school at this moment. That's it, Claire. Well done. Well done, Claire. Good. Well done, Claire.
They're trying to advance up the field now are the Chiefs here. Good chance to get something working here with Rediger. 2 defenders come at her quickly, and now PA's on the move with Ruguini. Sid the Kid will call her, like Crosby, along the near sideline. We say that affectionately, no malice, of course. Kempsville with Kendra Mahan trying to regain possession along the near sideline here. PA nudging in front, the 5:06 mark of our first period. For some reason, the scoreboard has not changed up on the field or Obviously, it has not to our score bug, but they did score at 5:06, so it should be reflecting as 1-0. So there we go. We have it on the board. Somebody must have heard me out there. Kempsville on the near side. That one takes a ricochet off the table area, it looked like. Nobody is in harm's way. That's great to see. I want to thank Garrett Jackson on camera today for us, for his work giving you the shots today and all the views on this very pleasant Thursday night in Virginia Beach, where temperature-wise it is quite comfortable. A little bit on the warmer side earlier in the day, but right now as we speak to you a little bit after 4 p.m., 79 degrees. Sun expected to set at 7:03 tonight. And then a lot of severe weather and wet weather coming our way the next couple of days, with a 91% or better chance of rain the next 2. Although the weather app says 100% for Friday. Nothing's 100% in this life, I guess. Except death, taxes, and me probably butchering one of these names. Those are the only 100% you could pretty much count on. Speaking of taxes, you're going to hear from John's Tax Service in just a little bit as we get ready to end this first quarter, along with Freddy's. Here's Kempsville on the move. Chance for a breakaway if they can keep possession, but Carly Edwards is not going to be able to catch up to it before it goes out of play. Love the hustle, though. Kevlar's having to deflect off Josie Scott around her leg foot area. And we've reached the end of one quarter of play where the horn sounds and Princess Anne leads Kempsville 1-0 thanks to Sydney Reguini. Will step aside and hear from Freddy's as well as John's Tax Service and get you set for the second period right here from the Training Center in Virginia Beach.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
They train athletes with Vault Athletics and Fitness. Find more about them on the web at vaultathleticsandfitness.com. They're actually doing some fall frenzy field hockey skills and gameplay league sessions for the Pee-wee, the youth, the juniors, ages 10 through 14. I see a lot of the info on their website, so go get the app, the Vault Athletics and Fitness app, and again, it's all online at vaultathleticsandfitness.com. They specialize in youth athlete development, personal training, small group training, and specialty fitness classes. As the second period is underway in this Beach District field hockey matchup, what's happening across the Beach District today? Well, you have a host of games in field hockey, and you can always get caught up on what's going on with field hockey across the city and all of Hampton Roads on our Field Hockey with Hatfield podcast. We'll tell you more about that in a second, as it is Sydney Reguini trying to get a second goal, but Kempsville's Cameron Butler taking it away from her until Reguini says, I'm going to try to grab it right back from you. Chiefs have possession, though, about 45 seconds into the second period, as Don Warder looks on from the sideline there. Cavaliers back with possession as they've got it with number 9, Marin Baxley, the sophomore. Kempsville able to pick that one up in the shooter's circle area. Now the Cavs threatening. Kempsville better dig out of there, because that is a danger zone, as Claire Holmes is trying to get to it, as is Reguini. A little more than a minute gone by in this second quarter. Also going on here at the training center after this game, you have Lancetown and Bayside squaring off. Another varsity matchup features Cox at Ocean Lakes. First Colonial is at Green Run. And going on the other field, right next to this one, is Salem of Virginia Beach taking on Tallwood. All varsity matchups in field hockey. A lot of high school football action got moved up to tonight in advance of the inclement weather expected, but the Beach District did not move up its games, so it remains to be seen if those games will be played on Friday or if they'll end up having to move them to perhaps Monday early next week. There's Cameron Butler back with possession for the Chiefs, being shadowed by number 7 for PA. Defending her well is Sarah Ellis. You see Ellis able to get away from the referee, tossing the ball back onto the pitch and the turf, where Zoe Hernandez has it for the Chiefs. Head over to Aaron Sutton. We've highlighted Hernandez, Sutton, and Butler.
Kelsey, you gotta be in a lane. Find a lane, Kels. You can't find a lane, stay home. Stay in the middle. That's a great ball read. Go to this way. Well done.
Oh, that one just goes like it went between the legs of Kendra Mahan of Kempsville and heading out of play. See that black banner waving with Pain and Gain Sports. They were our title sponsor for you 2 days ago here at the Plex, as we brought you the Cox win by double digits over Bayside. On our podcast that we did on the Hash with Hatfield and on Field Hockey with Hatfield, we did on the Hash with Hatfield today for football. We spoke with Anthony Joffrey on. It's up on our YouTube channel with Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Go check out that interview in the full podcast episode. And on Wednesday for Field Hockey, we spoke with a couple of special guests. We were joined by Diana Blair, the head coach at Lancetown. The Eagles snapped a 5-game losing skid with a nice 2-0 win over Tallwood. And we also spoke with Isabel Pardo, the goalkeeper for Cox, who is headed to Liberty. One of a couple of Liberty Flames commits out of the Beach District. The week before, on our first episode, or I should say our second episode, we did a preview episode, Beanie Schleicher and Scotty Tyson and myself. And the second episode, we spoke to Melina Magnano and Nicole Morgan of Kellum. Coach Nicole Morgan's team looking to be a threat again, as they're down in Class 5 after making the state tournament in Class 6 last year. And meanwhile, Melina Magnano is committed to Liberty like Isabel Pardo. And Cox has a huge matchup coming up. A big one to circle in 6 days over at Norfolk Academy, as both Cox and Norfolk Academy are top 25 field hockey outfits in the nation. Taylor Roundtree doing a splendid job at the helm of Cox. And we know, obviously, Mary Werkheiser, outstanding work for her at Norfolk Academy, led by Brooke Betancourt. And in addition to Brooke Betancourt, Joji Purdy looking to be a big threat for them throughout the season on a quest to a state championship. So neat to see the public and private showdown coming up as those two collide to show off their great talents. And we've got a good one here as Kempsville's trailing Princess Anne by a goal, but getting more possession time in the second period as Princess Anne really controlled it, had both penalty corners in the opening frame. Now the Chiefs get possession back with Erin Sutton dishing it over to her teammate and Zoe Hernandez on the far side as she tight ropes that sideline. Tries to connect on the pass, but it's just going to be out of the reach of her teammate. Nearing 9 minutes to go in the first half. Looking at the varsity roster that Coach Don Warner had a year ago, he had 20 players on the roster, and he had on the varsity roster 4 freshmen, one of which is the aforementioned Dougherty, another being Haley Kraft, and another being Maren Baxley. So we've seen 3 of them as sophomores contribute here as they're trying to get to 3-1 on the campaign, and some of that sun glare is, I think, getting in his eyes and PA's eyes as the sun is in this direction that PA's operating on. So they want to keep this lead and don't let Kempsville catch up. And they know Kempsville will have to deal with it for the second half potentially. Other side, not as much of a sun glare. Slight breeze here today, probably about a good 8 to 12 mile per hour wind. Not as gusty as we're likely going to have the next couple of days, though. Chiefs getting restarted with a little more than 8 minutes to go. Airborne on that one. Delivery didn't get to Josie Scott as PA was able to jump in front of it. Chiefs trying to play some keep away here as that one's just going to get out of the reach of Morgan Fettner on the near sideline. Right in front of Coach Warner, the Cavaliers look to go to work here with number 9 putting it into play, Maren Baxley. You see the extra hop in the step there for Reguini. As 14 and 7, that's Sydney Reguini 14 and Sarah Ellis 7 are 2 of the primetime playmakers for them. And some clock is ticking here as the Cavs wait for Baxley to get it here. And that one's going to be deflected. Good job by Kempsville to try to get into PA territory, but the Cavs are ready. And a great feed on the near sideline, getting it to Claire Holmes. She stays in play, works it right, and then twists it back in left. Chiefs get a gamble, and it pays off until that pass is a little bit off the mark. A lot of hustle here from Brooke Rediger and the Kempsville Chiefs. But PA starting to get better opportunities as the second quarter is nearing the middle portion of it. No penalty corners yet in this period. We'll see if the Chiefs can operate on the far sideline and keep possession as they look to work it into PA territory. And really trying to get some more clear outs because PA, you know they're going to keep getting into that 25-yard area. And that's going to be the key for the Chiefs to not let Princess Anne expand on that lead when they do get back in there. Princess Anne able to regain possession at midfield. They connect on that pass. That's Baxley again. Been calling out her name a lot more as this first half has moved along. Cavs having a hard time pushing it up ahead. And that one's just going to get away from Rediger and the Chiefs. PA with a potentially head-on situation with Ellis as it's going to get knocked away. But Princess Anne is going to get that third penalty corner now of the half. It's a matter of time before Sarah Ellis got a chance. Remember, they got that first penalty corner at the 6:45 mark. This one coming right around 4:15 in the first half. Who do they turn to? Get it in, and they score it with Reguini right away with a hard shot, and she delivers it into the back end of the cage, 2-0. Princess Anne. So second goal for her to make it a multi-goal lead, and that was going to be critical for PA to get that lead with that sun glare in their face. Now they can kind of, I wouldn't say rest or relax, but it gives them a little bit of a margin for error and some room to have some wiggle if something was to go not in their favor here before halftime. And early in the second half, if Kempsville was to get some momentum and get a goal, it's not tied up or they're in a situation where they're trailing.
This is a great time to get around and look for it. Look for it.
We'll see if Kempsville gets a little anxious, and they've got to be careful not to get over anxious and put themselves in a spot where they go down 3 goals as opposed to getting that goal to cut the deficit in half.
Come on out, Claire. Come on out, Claire. That opens up space inside. Man out. Well done, Claire.
Well, the near sideline out of the reach of, looks like Baxley, so they'll just watch the Chiefs go get it. From the sideline now, Kempsville with 2.5 minutes to go in this second period. Believe that is Cameron Butler. It is. Gets it back on the feed from Grace Homer, and then it's hit out of play with just over 2 minutes to go in the half. Gives us a chance to tell you about another one of our sponsors here at the Sportsplex. They're playing on the turf, and AstroTurf has been driven by forward-thinking ingenuity since 1965. AstroTurf continues to improve its system design to deliver playing services with the most realistic sports-specific performance, longest-lasting durability, and sound player protection. AstroTurf will be among the plethora of sponsors you'll hear from at halftime. I haven't used that word plethora in a while. I'm going to throw it out there here on this second to last Thursday in September. Second to last Saturday is this coming Saturday. Got 2 more of those for September of 2023. And speaking of which, you can not only hear our Field Hockey with Hatfield podcasts that have been dropping on Wednesdays. We're hoping to get those starting up on Mondays very soon. All about coordinating and efforting the interviews, getting those situated, and all the different data and graphics and ticker info that we have. And a big thanks to Carter Davis for his help with a lot of the graphics we've been putting out there for you. He and Nick Senti, Chuck Thornton, and the entire team with Hometown Sports Productions helping me a great deal. Sound not as stupid or sound as silly, and trying to present you all a quality product here. But in addition to On the Hash with Hatfield, the football podcast that we've been dropping on Thursdays, and the Field Hockey with Hatfield podcast on Wednesdays, you can also tune into 757 Saturday Sports Talk with yours truly, Matt Hatfield, and the coach, Ed Young, as we bring you all the latest in high school sports, high school football, and then we dabble in some college football, some NFL, some pro sports. Understand we're going to be hopefully joined in a couple of shows soon by Robert Jones, the head basketball coach at Norfolk State. We've had on recently Damian Sortoletta of the Roanoke Times to talk about that Virginia Tech Old Dominion matchup a couple weeks ago. We had on Stan Cotton, the play-by-play voice for Wake Forest, before the big matchup with Wake and Old Dominion, where Wake rallied to beat the Monarchs. Had some Virginia flavor, helped them in that cause. And then we also spoke with a couple weeks ago with Lamort Smith of First Colonial. So tune in, see who our special guest is this week, and also hear our pro football picks and all the high school football and college football and local sports flavor and beyond that we bring you each and every Saturday. We've reached halftime with both goals for Princess Anne scored by Sydney Reguini, a junior for the Lady Cavs, and they'll take a 2-0 lead into the break. As they're halfway home to move into 3-1 on the season, Kempsville will need a rally to get to 4-1 on the campaign. So we'll step aside and hear from some of our sponsors here at the Plex, including One Life Fitness.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall!
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back!
I just love fall.
Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it! Peak fall achieved! DQ, happy tastes good.
Happy does taste good. Grill and chill, I should say, with Dairy Queen. Every day is sweet when they're serving you Blizzard treats like M&M's, cookie dough, Oreo fudge brownie, and Reese's. Thanks for being fans all these years, and here's to many more. Dairy Queen Lansdowne, fan food, not fast food. Don't forget, we've got more field hockey action coming your way in the upcoming days here at the Regional Training Center. Next Tuesday, in fact, the 26th of September, we'll be broadcasting for you the 2 games going on here at the Training Center. Salem of Virginia Beach takes on Cox. Ocean Lakes takes on Kellum. So we'll have one of those for you here, right here at the RTC, the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. A JV matchup follows at 5:30 with Ocean Lakes and Kellum. Don't believe we're streaming that, but if you're interested in watching some of the up-and-coming players, you can do so as well. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, and share on our YouTube channel. Everything that we post up there, games available live to watch and on demand as well. And you can also go back and watch some USA field hockey action from the summertime and so much more, whether it's football, soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, you name it. We'll take another time out and hear from a couple more of the sponsors, including Shine Time, Power Wash, and Paint Professionals. Revitalize your property today.
Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects. With years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings, their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. Shine Time Power Wash.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Freddy's is at your fingertips. Just download the app and you get a free steak burger. They're the presenting sponsor for today's matchup with Princess Anne and Kempsville on the pitch at the National Training Center with USA Field Hockey, where they have so many events year-round. And right now it is the Cavaliers of PA out to a 2-0 lead on the Chiefs of Kempsville. A good play there from number 13 for Princess Anne, Lydia Senzone, senior. We haven't called her name out a whole lot, but she was able to keep Kempsville from really grabbing some momentum to begin this second half, as the Chiefs are in the blue uniforms. If you're just now tuning in, with the white numerals, the Lady Cavs with the, as we call them, the candy stripe, the red, white, no blue today, just the white jerseys with the white shorts, and then the red numerals. Princess Anne's working from right to left. Kempsville now left to right. PA's got it, and they're moving right to left here as they're working it past midfield into Kempsville territory on the far side. As that one looks to be not Sarah Ellis, thought it was for a second. We're watching Sydney Reguini as she gets close, coming from the right wing area towards the net, but it's going to head out of play. PA entering this game at 2-1 overall. They're a lone blemish against First Colonial. Got wins over Lansdowne and Cape Henry. Kempsville's wins over Green Run, Salem, and Ocean Lakes. The latest close one over the Dolphins of Ocean Lakes, 3-2. The lone loss coming 9 days ago here on our streaming channel against Kellum, 7-1. A game where Ellis Cannon, the recently named Il Giardino Ristorante Player of the Week, had 4 goals to bolster Kellum's attack. Also complemented by Molino Magnano for the Knights, as Nicole Morgan's team got the W in that one, 7-1. But Kempsville has bounced back from that defeat, as you would expect them to do under Amber Jones, who does a really good job with that program. And today against a PA team that has been getting a lot of buzz going back to the off-season. A lot of people were telling me, watch out for them. They're going to be a team on the rise. And though they haven't cracked our latest Hatfield Top 10 field hockey rankings, I think they're going to get there sooner than later. And in addition to that, looking at this PA squad here, you bring back some key components from a team that was pretty successful last year. They beat Hickory 7-0 in the regional quarterfinals in Class 5 Region A. And Reguini, with 19 goals, 3 assists last year, has 2 today. The junior midfielder is really hard to deal with. And I think she might be one of those candidates for a Player of the Week sooner than later. I noticed in yesterday's results, Great Bridge was all over Kings Fork. Lily Johnson, I think it was, had 4 goals. So Reguini is one of those players that's going to have a 3-4 goal game right there on that list with Johnson and Joji Purdy at Norfolk Academy, Reese Miller from Gloucester, names that leap to mind. Brooke Betancourt, who's headed to Wake Forest from Academy. And Cox has a number of those standouts, led by the Dartmouth-bound Megan Spear, who had 24 goals last year, 23 assists. Sophia Birch, who had 15 goals and 11 assists last year. So many talented playmakers out there across the 757 area code in field hockey. And it's interesting to me looking at some of the field hockey rankings by various websites and publications that there aren't more teams from the 757. So we mentioned Maxfield Hockey's got Norfolk Academy ranked 3rd in the country and Cox 11th, but I think there's some really good teams that will be up there. We know about Collegiate from Richmond being very good. Oakton, I hear from Northern Virginia, is extremely good, but there's some others there. As we're glad Garrett did not end up having a camera drop on him, so if that had happened, we would have had no more game for you. So good to see he kept that from happening, as I think the ball came close to hitting the fence, and that wind starting to pick up a little bit too. Chiefs now with possession. Zoe Hernandez. wanting to guarantee at least Kempsville a chance to
Good, Kels. Sarah, we don't need to answer that ball.
If you like our Virginia Beach Regional Training Center Facebook page, you'll see the 2 first-time segments that we threw your way. As Ellis is going to get a free chicken parm dinner courtesy of LG Arduna for her outstanding performance. And a big thanks to Dan Trevino for supplying the photo for us with that. Oh, this is a good save. Cameron Butler had a chance for it. And she was all over the place in defeat last week against Keller. Love her effort and hustle. But also my top 10 rankings. I don't want to give away the entire top 10, but we can tell you that the first 5. You've got to check out the rest of it to see 6 through 10. Norfolk Academy, Cox, Great Bridge, Gloucester, First Colonial, to no surprise in the first 5. But in 6 through 10, you got a couple of Bay River schools, a private school, and 2 other schools. I won't say where they're from. You have to go check that out. As we tease you, go look at it. So a lot of good stuff up there on our social media pages. Cameron Butler working the inline area, and it's going to be cleared for PA to go back to work here with possession. Doing a good job are the Cavs. Might see one of those scoops for PA here as we move along. They went a little airborne earlier. That was deflected. It looked like it went off Hernandez's stick. A good look from Lydia Sanzone. As the timer's ticking down, under 9 minutes to go in this third period. PA wanting to keep this multi-goal lead. You know, if it gets to 2-1, that's where things can get very dicey. Some nerves can come in, some tension. Cavaliers have it back here. Nearly a chance to put him that lead. As Sarah Ellis was wanting to get one good whack at it from about 5 feet from the net, but Kempsville gets awarded possession, and here they are trying to work it into PA territory. Ooh, looked like it was a collision almost, but you see both players patting each other on the back between Ellis and Butler. Ellis 7 for PA, 9 in the blue for Kempsville being Butler. And now Princess Anne trying to do what they did in the second quarter, where they didn't have a lot of the possession time to begin the first 4 or 5 minutes of the period, and then they got it. They got their penalty corner, and Reguini scored it for them, the 4:03 mark, to make it 2-0. They've had 3 penalty corners and really have gotten a couple of them to pay off with goals. They generally, if they're outside, they like to stay outside and do their work there, and if they can turn it inside, we'll see if Kempsville can buckle down.
Matt, we should be talking to everybody. We are, right, Matt? Stick down and ready, Em.
Scooting by the defender. Sand trying to get a combination, working with 14, finding 7. That would be Reguini to Ellis. As we talked about before, had an assist this year in a game where Ellis scored it versus Cape Henry. So they're thinking deja vu a little bit. From the sideline, I see number 21 Ikems getting ready to come in. I'm not going to attempt that last name again because I'm quite sure I butchered it the first time. And it appears to be, I can't tell if that's 14 running the way to give a rest for a substitution. Couldn't see who subbed out, but whoever it was, very much energy expended. Now Reguini's going to stay in. She did not go out. And that makes sense as she goes to the right and somehow gets it through for the hat trick. What a goal by Sydney Reguini of Princess Anne to make it 3-0 with 5:53 to go in our third quarter. She is dazzling today. All 3 goals. And just a pretty impressive talent, folks. Comes Kempsville. Down 3-0 in this matchup, knowing that their time to get back in this is starting to slip away. You want to get to the 4th period at least with a goal on the board. If you're down 3, it's going to be hard to overcome that, as it looks like Lydia Sanzone's going to head out and get a breather while number 17, Heidi Plank, will check in. But you see why Riguini's got all Tidewater, all-state capabilities, without a doubt. Going to be one to watch the rest of this year and beyond. In fact, I'm looking to see if she doesn't look like she made 1st or 2nd team All-State last year. There's a lot of good players in Class 5. Just going back to the Class 5 All-State team from 2022, you had Sophia Birch from Cox, Landry Meyer from First Colonial, Reese Miller, who I referenced from Gloucester. Here comes Kempsville on the move. Tell you more about those Class 5 All-State players in a second from last year. Carly Edwards trying to connect in the middle with Brooke Rediger as it rolls out of play. You also had Maddie Baker from Nansemond River as a senior, Chandler Johnson from Gloucester as a senior, Megan Spear and Addie Froelich from Cox. Froelich graduated, Spear's back. Aubrey White from Nansemond River as a sophomore, Elise Unger, who graduated from Cox, and the goalkeeper that we spoke with on our field hockey episode, Isabel Pardo, as a sophomore goalkeeper, 1st team All-State last year. I think she's got a chance to be a 3-time 1st team All-State performer, the way Cox is performing to begin this season. Your 2nd team All-State players in Class 5 consisted of Jordan White from Nansemond River, Finley Payne from First Colonial, who was just a goal-scoring machine for FC, Anaya Woods from Nansemond River, Avery Watkins from Gloucester, Lauren Sanford from Cox, who was a senior, Breeley Johnston from Nansemond River, and Katie Royal from First Colonial. Those are the players just from the 757 area code. As Allison Dyes was the coach of the year from Nansemond River. Players got off to a nice start, but then bumped into Norfolk Academy like a lot of people do. It's not easy to tackle them. Do think they'll be heard from the Warriors out of Region 5B. Probably the favorite in that region, where we know Cox, the defending 5-time state champs, viewed as the team to beat out of Region 5A as that one heads out of play. Those two squared off in the state championship last year, the Warriors and Falcons, with Cox getting the better of Nansemond River. And that one gets away from the Chiefs' Kiera Simas. Never too early to tell you that if you're wanting to mark it on your calendars, you field hockey fans, parents out there, could be grandparents, relatives of some of these athletes, some of the key dates for the playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah, Jim Moore, playoffs. It'll be here before you know it. So will October. And the regionals will start October 25th. That's literally a month from this coming Monday. And then the regionals will be done by November 4th so that you have the state quarterfinals commence on November 7th. And then your state semifinals will be on November 10th at Ocean Lakes and Kellam High Schools. Your championship game November 11th at Kellam High in Virginia Beach. We tick under 2 minutes to go in this 3rd period. It's been the Sydney Riguini show as Princess Anne has a 3-goal lead on Kempsville. All goals scored by her at the 5:06 mark of the 1st period, 4:03 mark of the 2nd quarter, and just a little while ago at the 5:53 mark of the 3rd period. But here come the Chiefs on the move as they try to get into the shooter circle, but Princess Anne able to nudge that one out of play. Good defense from the Lady Cavs. As they contain the Kempsville attack for the moment, time being. So under a minute left in this third quarter, and the Chiefs not in a big hurry. You see a couple of blue shirts there trying to get it back, and Butler thought she had it, and then actually it looked like, take that back, Carly Edwards thought she had it. Kempsville regains possession until PA comes up with it here. Almost like a tug of war out there. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. It's yours. It's yours. Whose is it? Not really sure whose it is. PA pressing forward towards midfield. And that one's going to get slapped up ahead. And the horn sounds, which means we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. Princess Anne now 1 period away from getting themselves a victory to move to 3-1 on the season against Beach District foes. So we will step aside and hear from the multidisciplinary team at the CHKD Sports Medicine Program, who are dedicated to the treatment of illness and injury in pediatric and college athletes. CHKD Sports Medicine.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Fourth quarter is underway, and no, it's not 99-3. A little bit of a glitch there on the scoreboard, so we'll get that fixed for you there. It is 3-0 as we start the fourth, and again, not the sixth quarter. They're working on that for you. I think the heat sometimes does that to the digits and the technology we've got for you. And you didn't miss anything as we caught the beginning of the fourth quarter, just a couple seconds in. The Chiefs, who came in at 3-1, playing well the last 2 games, responding from that loss to Killam. They took by a 7-1 margin. Unable to find an answer for Sydney Reguini, which they shouldn't feel bad because very few teams do have an answer or someone to, I guess you could say, neutralize, match her. 3 goals for her, 1 in each of the first 3 periods. She's got the hat trick. Does she get a 4th in this final stanza? Well, it might not be necessary, but here come the Cavaliers with a chance to work it with numbers, and that is Reguini right on cue until she just taps it up ahead and it will roll out of play towards one of the signs. As we zoom in with that with our man Garrett Jackson on camera, you see the Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers bringing us this broadcast to you today. Go over there, download the app, get you a free steak burger. and try the frozen custard. I'm ashamed to say this. I have not tried the frozen custard over there yet. I'm very tempted to do so in the next couple of weeks. And they've got locations in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Williamsburg, and Hampton. As you see, one of the patrons there puts the ball in the little bag, extra ball. Here's Cameron Butler. She's racing by not one, not two, but a couple of different Cavaliers defenders, but sticking with her was Reguini. You see her speed in the pitch. And you see Reguini with the hustle to try to catch up to the rest of her teammates here. She'll just end up tapping it over to one of her teammates. I think that's number 15 she hit it over to. Actually, it's not a 15. It could be 16. I'll have to get the binoculars out to see who that was she tapped it over to. Check that 19, Kelsey Mango. 19 goals, 3 assists a season ago, which was a fine year, but I think she's going to surpass those totals. Might have a chance to double those goals if she keeps having hat tricks. There's been a lot of those across the area this year. I know it's pretty commonplace, but it just seems like more than usual. I think it's a good thing, perhaps, that we have some players distinguishing themselves and their talents and their hard work paying off from the summertime to now. But you also wonder if enough teams are scheming to stop certain players. And again, that's something I might throw the direction of not just some fans out there and close followers of the sports, but some coaches. Be curious to get their input on some of that and feelings on why we're seeing so many hat tricks. It feels like there's a little bit more than when I started calling some games in years past. Even a couple of years ago, it doesn't seem like there's been as many as there's been here in the early going of this 2023 campaign across the area and even statewide. Here where I get on social media on X, which has been known as Twitter, and still is to me. I might keep calling it that until someone from that company tells me to stop calling it that. You just look and you see hat trick by this player, hat trick by that player, 3 goals, 4 goals, 3 or 4 players with multiple goals. And there are some teams that gear to stop somebody, and that player's still just too good to be contained. Under 11 minutes to go here in regulation play. As far as upcoming matchups for these two teams, Kempsville's next game is in 5 days against Tallwood. Then it's Bayside on the 28th of September. In October, they host Lansdowne on the 3rd. The next day they take on Kickingham. And Washington Liberty from the Arlington area, October 7th, 2 p.m. matchup with them. October 9th, a game with Grassfield. October 12th at Cox. As we watch Reguini, as they get into the attacking third deep here, shooter circle, she gets it back. Gets deflected, almost had a second shot on the rebound.
Well done, Claire.
And then from the wing, they try to get it back to Reguini. 3 blue shirts surround her. Goalkeepers come out a ways here, and there's no chance to even get any crumbs, clear it out and go. But it's going to be a tricky part of the schedule for Kempsville. October 12th, October 17th, they have Cox and First Colonial back-to-back before the final 3 games consist of Deep Creek, a home game, Oscar Smith, a home game, and then Menchville, October 23rd on the road. And Menchville's starting to step it up, led by Lily Krikorian. It's the daughter of Christopher Newport National Championship Division III coach John Krikorian. And that one sent on the little scoop. Certainly seen some highlight reel plays the last few days. If you're looking for a tomahawk, someone like Reguini can deliver it for you, or one of those Cox talents that we watched. Joey Savino, Sophia Birch. we've seen some good tackles at times from Kempsville on the defensive side, but right now their offense has just been unable to get in a groove to get a real threat on the goalkeeper for PA. And of course their starting goalkeeper, Bethany Kultis, a senior. They got Madison Dennis as the reserve. Don Warner has to like the execution he's seen from his team today. And now they have a chance to use some clock and work on their passing, spread out Kempsville, work a little east-west, not so much be on the attack north and south with a 3-goal lead. You don't want to give Kempsville any opportunity. Chiefs did get a goal last week against Kellum instead of getting shut out. Memory serves me right, that was Butler, who's an influential piece to their attack, but right now it's not looking too promising to get that goal and avoid being shut out here, as PA so far this year has done it twice, looking for their third in 4 games. PA slate, they have a big one October 13th. I think that is 3 Fridays from tomorrow against Great Bridge on the docket, I see. Out of district matchup. They also play Washington Liberty like Kempsville, October the 6th. Going away from the net. That was Reguini. Their next district tilt for Princess Anne will come October 26th at Green Run. Excuse me, September 26th at Green Run. September 28th against Kellum. That'll be an interesting matchup. October 3rd against Ocean Lakes. October 6th with Washington Liberty. Also have Tallwood, Bayside, Salem in the month of October. Those games coming, well, the Bayside game coming a day before the Great Bridge game, but the Salem game coming after the Great Bridge game on the 17th. I think that's their final regular season game, so they'll have a little bit of a break before the playoffs. Not a long break, but a little bit of a break. I want to shout out while we have an opportunity, another one of the sponsors here. We'll get a couple of them in before we bid adieu on this Thursday. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. It's a place where you can go to eat better and feel better. They're bursting with fresh flavors. They offer grab-and-go catering and box lunches. Tropical Smoothie Cafe is right across the street from Tidewater Community College on Princess Anne Road. Jetty Punch is my go-to with Tropical Smoothie. More than 1,150 locations in the US of A. TropicalSmoothieCafe.com for more, to learn about the delicious smoothies, wraps, sandwiches, flatbreads, and salads that they have available. Under 5.5 minutes here left in regulation, and Princess Anne closing in on a very workmanlike 3-0 shutout. It hasn't been so much dominating as it's just been very, very matter of fact. No penalty quarters in the third quarter for either team. Kempsville's yet to have one at all today. Cavaliers have 3 in the game, 2 in the first period, 1 in the second. And they directly led to goals, but not the third one that Reguini scored at the 5:53 mark of the third period. It's just a little bit of frustration there. They couldn't connect on that pass. Kempsville's trying, but just PA a step quicker and in rhythm. Good find there, as it is Reese Klutz getting it over to Heidi Plank. Trying to chase up to it was Mackenzie Short, but it rolls out of play to the fence near us. PA with Emerson Eves, number 8. And now there's number 12, Maura Graves. Chiefs trying to clear it away with their number 12 and Kendra Mahan. As we've hit under 4 minutes to go in this matchup. You've seen earlier on the commercials John's Tax Service. They're a proud community supporter of local youth sports, providing tax preparation and retirement planning services. John's Tax Service and JPM Financial Services have been serving all of Hampton Roads for more than 20 years. They're the best thanks to you, John's Tax Service. You can find them on the web too at johnstaxservice.com. Give them a call at 757-455-6763. And if you have any questions, you can, in addition to calling that 757-455-6763 number, drop them an email at questions@johnstaxservice.com. It's questions@johnstaxservice.com. Ball's going to take a hop, and the Cavaliers are thinking about maybe getting another shot on goal. Little bump action there, but Kempsville regains possession with Grace Homer, trying to maintain and turn it away from Riguini, who's staying aggressive. No let up in her game. And why not? Certainly one of the best talents out there. Just over 2 minutes to go in this contest. Kempsville looking to get back to it. Here they go with Cameron Butler, trying to twist her way for a good shot on goal. It's going to be really the first one they've had, but that's going to be wide of the net. I think she was just pretty much out of breath and might have stubbed her toe. Hopefully she's all right there. She's working out the legs to see if she's okay. Landed awkwardly on. She's moving kind of gingerly right now. Princess Anne here with less than 75 seconds to go until they notch their third shutout of the year. And again, kudos to the goalkeeper pitching it so far in Bethany Kultus for Coach Don Warner's crew. Sydney Riguini has been the story, though, with 3 goals in this game. Dump off here for Kempsville, and it's booted away. That's a good job by the goalkeeper. Kultus. Here's another chance for Kempsville. That one's going to be almost intercepted right there in the circle, laying down the stick. Chiefs get it back off the hop with Grace Homer. 2 Princess Anne defenders in the way, and one of which is Riguini, who is just a wizard out there with the ball, and even when she doesn't have the ball, making so much happen for her team today. .15 ticks to go, and this one's about to be put in the books. By the way, I want to also thank Gatorade for their support and keeping the athletes hydrated. Stay hydrated with Gatorade. Quench your thirst. And 000s hit, and the sound has been made, and Princess Anne runs on the field to go hug Kultus, the goalie. They get the shutout. Sydney Riguini with 3 goals to lead the way as the Cavaliers get it done in this Beach District matchup. We want to thank Chuck Thornton, Nick Senti, Garrett Jackson on camera. I'm Matt Hatfield. This has been a presentation of Beach District Field Hockey Action with Hometown Sports Productions, and we'll talk to you next time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel with the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Have a pleasant good Thursday evening, everyone. Take care.